Salutations. Waters. Emilo Latimo Mohoye. The day Alafia. Divine risings and rotations. Beloved army. Beloved army. Umoja. Unity. Oneness. Umoja. Together. It is said that team is together each achieves more. In unity, people are more powerful. In unity, a person is more confident. So if your confidence level is already high and then you got unity to apply with that confidence skyrockets beyond imagination. Not to mention that the accessibility to the differences of mind states and the differences of views and points of views elevates you too. I remember I used to tell brothers, I say, when you study in religious texts, there are many scholars. Some of them self-proclaim, some of them are legitimate scholars. But regardless, self-proclaim are legitimate. And sometimes the self-proclaim are more powerful than the so-called legitimate based upon certification. Certification is not what makes you legitimate. Because even based upon those so-called scriptures, the divine is what ordains. Man can't ordain anybody. And in this world, the only tangible being that can truly ordain will be woman. The womb that brings forth life into this world. May that be a male or a female or a male. It brings masculine and feminine and masculine into this world. But anyway, listen, I would tell him, study the interpretations and the translations and the transliterations and so forth and so forth. The etymology. Study all of these things from the different perspectives, from the different mind states. Because one individual mind cannot sum up the collective whole of the experience of humanity. We ain't even gonna go beyond humanity. We're just gonna say humanity. And so when you have one book or one piece of information being expressed or exposed or exhumed or researched or evaluated by many great minds, if you study not only with your own mind, but study the mind states of these mind states and study through the eye of these minds, your level of understanding will surpass theirs. Your level of understanding will surpass theirs. Because not only do you have now how they saw it and the differences, because they didn't do that. In many cases, when you're dealing with these type of people suffer from some situation where they think that they're the most advanced. Think about religions. Religions say that their way is the only way. But then think about the person like me, that I follow no religion. I embrace all aspects of absolutes. So therefore, it is in everything and of everything and beyond everything. And I embrace that. That's where you'll start getting where I'm at. You can't put me in a box based upon a book, but I acknowledge that book too, and that book too, and that book too, and that book too, and that book too. And I'm starting to go back and rebuild Timbuktu because I acknowledge them books too. And this is why the first thing that they restricted from us was knowledge. And the first thing that they gave us, it with the illusion of freedom or some kind of a will to choose, was a religious text. And then they restricted that religious text by defaming all of the versions of the same text that wasn't authorized by the same person. But that's another topic. So I don't want to get on King James ass right now. That's another topic. But examine life through the lens of many people. The more lens that you have accessibility to or access to tapping into, plugging into, the more powerful you become. See, we didn't come here to duplicate anything that anybody before us had done. And despite popular belief, if the conditions of the world are worsening, or if the conditions of the world are staying the same, something is not panning out well. That means we have to do something different in your life, in your relationships, in your whatever you got going on, your business, your careers. If things are staying the same, that means you're on a hamster wheel. You're willingly participating daily in a rat race instead of changing the matrix. And the only way to change the matrix is to think with Neo, with a new mind. You see, we have to think with a new mind. But the only way to think with a new mind is to expose ourselves to all minds. And the reason why I say is to expose ourselves to all minds, because until you've exposed yourself to all minds, you don't know if you're thinking with a new mind. You may be thinking with an old mind that got caught in the waves, because everything is in electrical waves, ethereal waves, ether waves, power waves, divine waves. That's how we take in receptions. That's also what our hair does. Our hair is our antennas. Everything on this planet has antennas. That's why they convince you to remove yours. They can convince you that it has no purpose. So you shave it off. You Caesar it up. And then you wonder why you behave like Caesars. You bald it out. You wonder why you behave like bald heads. You confine it. You mistreat it. You design it. But the thing is that this is a root that is naturally supposed to grow from your brain, from your skull, from your crown, because this is your realest crown. This is your inheritance in this world. This is the defining factor of your royalty. And each individual is a royalty of their own. And this is why you should allow it to grow as it wills, because it'll grow in its uniqueness to show you how unique you are. And so others with eyes to see and ears to hear can see you and say, oh, he's one of them, or she's one of them. They're crowned. Listen, study all aspects of life. The moment that you limit yourself to some aspects of life, you limit yourself to absolute truth, and you're based in relative truths. And a lot of us have a tendency, and I'm speaking from somebody, me, who I lived at the heights of the box. I was the controller of the box. I was deep in the grooves in the DNA spirals of the box. And then I had to destroy my box. I had to destroy my box. I've destroyed my box 1,000 times over. And we just talking about this life. I've destroyed my box 1,000 times over. Right now, I'm in the process of trying my hardest to find ways to destroy my box. But thus far, this box seems absolute because it's no box. So this universe seems absolute. This state seems absolute. This fact, this reality, this divinity seems absolute. This space, this time, this frame, this immortal existence, this immortal path, trail, way seems absolute. But I'm still trying, because if it can be demolished, then it is not absolute. And avoiding dialogue, avoiding debate, avoiding exposure to stuff and things and people that are different, or see different, or think different, or speak different, does not legitimize your shit. It actually legitimizes that you know in your heart of hearts that yours is not the all-powerful. Stay focused, stay positive, stay around focused and positive people. Never lose who you are once you know who you are, and never sacrifice who you are for nothing and nobody. Don't just wake up, get out of the bed and stay out of the bed and assist others in rising from that slumber. Alafia farana wo monife rela nidu wo pe haka sima kayeri yon kopona ka kayeri frama. Umuntu wenga bantu. Lai ni waju koriseki. Fiyete no. Ya soto weto faraka wajibu. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Salute. Peace and motivation. Wholeness and motivation. Have an illuminating day. I love y'all. Immortal.